A mother's love is often related as one of the purest and most selfless forms of love. It's a bond rooted in unconditional care, sacrifice, and unwavering support. From nurturing a child through babyhood to offering guidance in adulthood, a mother's love is both safeguarding and empowering. Hello, my name is Neilster, and this is a real story of my life about my mama. She has always been my superhero. She is the most caring, loving, and genuine person I know. Someone who can protect me and make life better. My mama has all of those qualities, and that is why she is my superhero. Last night, I sat lone in my room, staring lovingly at a throwback photo on the wall. It was a beautiful picture of my mama and me. I was a little boy in the picture. My mama had a big smile. I looked happy too. I closed my eyes and thought about her. Memories swirled in my mind. Some were good, and some were not so good. I felt warm in my heart, but also a little sad. When I was a child, my mama did everything for me. She cooked my food. She washed my clothes. She walked me to school. She helped me with my homework. She stayed with me when I was sick. She would wake up early morning so she could prepare breakfast for me. She worked hard every single day for me, but I did not see her love. I did not thank her enough. I thought she would always be there. I thought looking after me is her job. I thought her only job was to take care of me. But I was wrong. One day I got home late. My mama waited for me. She looked worried. She asked, "Where were you, son?" I said, "With my friends." She said, "You should tell me next time." I got angry. I said, "Stop asking me questions. I'm not a kid." I saw her face expression change. She looked hurt, but she didn't shout. She only said, "Okay." That night, she still made me dinner. She still kissed me goodnight. Her love did not change and was same. I remember the first time I failed a big exam. I was afraid to go home. I thought my mama would be angry, but she did not shout. She sat with me. She said, "It's okay, son. Try again next time." She smiled and hugged me. Her hugs were warm. They made me feel safe and comfortable. I didn't say it then, but now I want to say it. She strengthened me. She made me feel loved. Sometimes I said bad things to her. I said she didn't understand me. I behaved rudely. I said she didn't care, but that was not true. She always loved and cared for me. She stayed up late when I had problems. She listened when I needed to talk. She cried when I was sad. She laughed when I was happy. Her heart was always full of love for me, but I was too young to see it. Once there was a time I wanted to leave home. I wanted to live alone. I thought I didn't need anyone. I packed my bag and opened the door. My mama stood there. She didn't stop me. She said, "If you go, take a jacket. It may be cold." That short sentence broke my heart. I saw her eyes. They were full of tears still, with lots of love, but she let me go. She trusted me, and that trust brought me back to home. I think of the day she was sick. She was down with the fever and was very tired, but she still got up. She made breakfast for me. I told her to rest. She said, "You're my child. I have to do it for you. Anyway, mothers don't rest." I didn't understand her words then, but now I do. A mother's heart is always working, even when her body is tired. Even when she is in pain, her love is stronger than anything else in the whole world. And now that I'm older, I see everything. I see how strong she was. I see how kind she was. I see how loving she was. I see how caring she was. I see how much she gave me. I want to go back and say, "Sorry, Mama, I want to go back," and say, "Thank you, Mama, but I cannot go back in time." So now I try to be better. I try to love her the way she loved me. I try to care her the way she cared me. I try to speak kind words. I try to help her more. I know I made many mistakes. I know I hurt her feelings sometimes, but she never stopped loving me. She never turned away from me. Her heart was big. Her hands were always open for me. Her smile was always for me. And now, when I look at that old photo, I feel her love. I feel her in every memory, and I say to myself, I am lucky. I have a mother like her. Every day, I try to be more like her. I try to be strong. I try to be kind. I try to love without asking for anything back, because that is what she taught me, not with words, but with actions, with quiet care, with small things, with big love. One morning, I woke up late. I missed the school bus. I was afraid to tell my mama, but when I came to the kitchen, she was smiling. She said, "It's okay. I will take you at school." I thought she would be angry, but she wasn't. She drove me to school in her old car. On the way, she told me a funny story. I enjoyed and laughed. She laughed too. That small moment stayed in my heart for years. There was a time when I broke a ceramic plate in the kitchen. I was 10 years old. I thought she would be mad. I tried to hide it, but she saw the broken plate. She asked me, "Did you break this?" I said no. She looked at me and said nothing. Later, I felt bad and told her the truth. She smiled and said, "Thank you for telling me." She didn't punish me. She tried to make me understand. She taught me honesty with love. In high school, I wanted to be cool. I didn't want to be seen with my mama. One day, she came to school to bring my lunch bag. I saw her from far away and walked the other way. I didn't want my friends to see me with her. That night, she said nothing. She just asked, "Did you eat today?" I said yes. She smiled and went to bed. I still remember that. Her love was quiet, but it was deep. I even remember when I got my first job. I was so happy and proud. I bought her a small gift with my first salary. She looked at it and smiled. She said, "You didn't need to buy anything, son," but I saw tears in her eyes. She hugged me for a long time. That hug felt different. It was incredibly powerful. It was full of pride and love. I felt like I finally gave something back to her. I felt proud of myself. That moment meant a lot to both of us. Sometimes she sat alone in the living room, looking at old photos. She would drink tea in silence. I never asked or bothered what she was thinking. I was busy with my own life. But now I wonder, did she feel lonely? Did she miss her family? She always smiled, but maybe she was tired. Maybe she needed someone to ask her, "Are you okay?" I wish I had asked more. I wish I had listened more. And now, when I visit her, I see her hair turning gray. Her hands are slower, but her heart is same. She still waits for me at the door. She still cooks my favorite food. She still asks, "Did you sleep well?" I try to be better now. I try to show love for her like she did. I sit with my mama and listen to her stories. I hold her hand, because now I understand a mother's love is forever, and I want to give it back to my mama while I still can. I remember my school days very well. I often needed help with my homework after dinner. My mama sat beside me every evening, even when she was tired. Sometimes she didn't know the answers to my questions, but she always tried to help and never gave up. She searched in old books or asked friends. She wanted me to learn and grow with confidence. Once I really wanted a new toy I saw in a shop. It was musical and colorful. When it moved, my mother said, we didn't have money that moment. I got furious and didn't talk to her for many days. A few nights later, she gave me the toy. I was happy, but I didn't know how hard she worked for it. There was a day I came home from school after a fight. My school shirt was dirty, and I had a bruise on my arm and leg. I thought she would be angry and shout at me. However, she held my hand and asked, "Are you okay, my son?" She listened to me and gave kind advice. Every evening, my mama made dinner and waited for me at the table. Sometimes I was late, but she never ate before I came home. My mama said, "I want us to eat together as a family." I didn't understand her reason then, because I was just a child, but now I understand. It was her silent way to love. She never bought new clothes for herself, even in winter. But I always had warm jackets and clean shoes for school. She loved her small garden with flowers and green plants. Every morning, she watered them and checked through each one. She smiled when they grew healthy and tall. I never felt to help her because I thought flowers were boring. However, now I grow flowers too, and I think of her hands in the soil. When I was sick, she stayed beside me all night without sleeping. She touched my head and spoke softly. I never saw her tired face or the worry in her eyes. She only said, "You will feel better soon. Don't worry." I didn't understand her efforts and pain then, but now I do. Sometimes she sang while cooking or cleaning the house. Her songs were slow and sweet, and her voice was soft. She sang songs from her childhood that I didn't know. I never cared much then and didn't listen well, but now I remember the sound of her voice. It was soothing, warm, gentle, and full of peace. When I think of mornings at home, I see her in the kitchen. She woke up before everyone else to make breakfast. The smell of bread and tea filled the house. She would work quietly so we could sleep more. I never said thank you, Mama, for those mornings. I only ate and left for school. But now I miss those quiet, warm mornings with her love in every meal. I remember rainy days when I forgot my umbrella. She waited at the school gate with one in her hand. Her clothes were wet, but she smiled at me standing. I used to feel embarrassed in front of friends. I never said how much it meant to me. My mama never asked for thanks. My mama's love was always there, even in the rain. At night, I often watched television while she worked. She washed dishes, cleaned the floor, folded clothes. I never thought to help. I thought it was her job, but now I feel ashamed. She never rested, and she never complained. My mama's love was in every small action she did. Her hands did everything for the house. One day, I had a bad grade in math. I was scared to show her, but she looked at the paper and said, "It's okay, we will try again." She didn't get angry. She sat with me every night after that. She made me believe in myself. I could improve. That patience helped me more than any teacher. She never went on holidays or bought things for fun. And when I asked her why, she said, "Maybe next year." But next year never came for her. She always gave her time and money to us. I never understand it then, but now I know. She gave up many dreams for our future. There was a winter when I got fever for days. She stayed by my side all night, holding my hand. I remember opening my eyes and seeing her next to me. She didn't sleep. She didn't eat much. Her face looked very tired, but she smiled. I felt safe with her beside me. That smile gave me strength. On my birthday, She always made my favorite cake and cooked my favorite food. She decorated my room with simple things. It was not a big party, but made with love. I never cared back then. I wanted toys and stuff, not cake. But now I remember the taste of her cake. It was sweet, soft, and full of care and love. Sometimes my mama sat by the window and looked outside. I didn't ask what she was thinking. I was busy with my schoolwork or phone playing games. Now I wish I had talked to her more. Maybe she had dreams. Maybe she had stories or something to tell, but she always stayed quiet, giving all her time to us instead. I remember the day I left home for college. My mama packed my bag with care. She put warm clothes, snacks, and even a small note. Pupush, your mama loves you, and you will be always my baby boy. Take care, I believe in you. I smiled, but I didn't say much. I was excited to leave and be free. But now I realized how hard that goodbye was for her. She stood at the door smiling, with tears streaming, while her heart was crying inside. During college, I didn't call her often. My mama waited every evening by the phone. Sometimes she called me, and I answered quickly. I'm busy, I said. She only replied, okay, I just wanted to hear your voice. I didn't understand then, but now I realize how much my mama waits to hear my voice, even for a minute, how precious for her. When I came home on holidays, my mama cooked all my favorite food. She washed my clothes. She cleaned my room. She asked questions about my life, but I didn't share much. I said, everything is fine. And I didn't see worry in her eyes. But now I wish I had told her more. She wanted to know me, not to control, but to care. My mama always prayed for my health and happiness. She always wanted me to study hard and have great opportunities in life. But I didn't care then. I heard her soft voice at night. Sometimes she whispered my name in her prayers. I laughed at it once and said, you don't need to worry so much. My mama smiled and said, a mother never stops worrying. I understand those words now. Her love followed me in silence. One evening, I saw my mama looking at old photos. She held me as a baby. Her eyes were full of memories. Her heart was full of joyful remembrance. I walked away thinking it was silly, but now I do the same. I look at old pictures and feel the same pain, the same memories, the same love. Time passes quickly, but my mama's love stayed with me. After college, I got a job in another city. I called her sometimes, not every day. She always answered with joyously and said, Pupush, my baby. Her voice was full of life, even when she felt tired. She never showed her pain. She only said, I'm happy if you are happy. I asked her how she was, but never took seriously about her. I regret that now. Once I forgot her birthday. I was busy with work and friends. My mama called me that night, and I still didn't remember, but she didn't say anything. She just asked, how was your day? Later, I found out she waited all day for my call. I cried when I remembered. My mama's love was silent, never asking, always giving. Every time I left home, she stood at the gate. She waved until I disappeared from her sight. I used to smile and forget it fast, but now that image lives in my heart. Her eyes full of love, her hands waving with hope. My mama didn't want to stop me. She just wanted me to know I was loved. Now I sit alone and think about all those years. I see my mama's face in my memories, smiling, tired, kind, gentle, and her loving, soft voice. I think about the times I ignored her decisions for my betterment. And the times I chose friends over her, the moments my mama tried to make me understand, and I was stubbornly unkind, but she never stopped loving me. She never turned away. Her love stayed strong through all my mistakes. I wish I had seen my mama's heart more clearly when I was younger. Sometimes I dream of walking into the kitchen and seeing her again. She would be standing there, making breakfast and humming a soft song. I would sit on the chair and watch her, just watch her, and feel peace. I would say, "Thank you, Mama, not for one thing, but for everything. Thank you, Mama, for the food, the care, the love, the nights you stayed awake, the days you gave up your rest." I understand now that her life was full of sacrifice. She gave me her time, her energy, her dreams. She never asked anything in return. She didn't want gifts, praise, or thanks. She wanted me to be safe, strong, and happy. I used to think love was big words or special days, but my mama's love was in the small things, the warm food, the clean clothes, the quiet waiting. There were so many things I never asked her. What made her smile when she was a girl? What did she want when she was young? What dreams did she hide in her heart while raising me? I was too busy with my life to ask, and she never spoke of herself. Her world was full of positive for others, but now I could sit beside her and listen to her stories. As I grow older, I understand her more. I see her in the way I care for others. I hear her words when I speak to children. My mama's patience is now my goal. Her kindness is now my path. I try to live in a way that would make her proud. I try to carry her love in everything I do. She may not be near, but her spirit lives with me every day. There are days when I feel lost or tired. In those days, I remember my mama's soft and strong voice. I remember how she made me feel better without saying much. My mama's love was quiet, but it was the strongest thing I've ever known. It gave me everything I needed to become who I am today. Just a touch, just a smile, and the world felt right again.